Breathe in, breathe out. On metamorphosis and radical embodiment in the metaverse. We live and move through a simulation, a hyper-reality made of symbols and signs that become the truth itself. By embracing the plasticity of the simulation is the only way to surrender to the evolution of human consciousness. With mesmerizing games of pretend is how we transcend the simulation. At the mercy of Maya, a veil of divine energy, we're all tricksters. This is a divine game. Ellen Watts says, the game is pretending that we're not playing a game. The game is indestructible. You cannot not play it. You can simply pretend that you don't. You can pretend that you're better than it, and that's another game in itself. What is the higher octave of this game? The process of resignation, which is the process of understanding that you didn't or you cannot resign at all. Example, Buddhist monks who resigned their money and now live in luxury as they're invited into homes of royalty. They can't resign from this game. We idealize the hermit. What's natural, what's rudimentary. You realize you can't get away. You cannot not play the game. This is the ultimate game, the absolute game. To embrace the game is the only way through. What's the game you're playing? Living in the simulation, surrounded with mesmerizing games of pretend, which are, according to Ellen Watts, alike divine wisdom, for they're played for the sole purpose itself, to be played. We do so with mimicry. There's something magical about producing a likeness to something. I move to deceive and pretend and mimic and jump dimensions and timelines, identities and avatars. Mimicry is the art of imitation, as known in the natural world, also used by humans for many artistic, spiritual, and innovation purposes. Deep in the deceptive sensory games of pretend of the metaverse, we have to go back to intuitive and bodily knowledge to embrace the games of pretend in order to exit the simulation. Learn from mimicry, become villains. Become villains. We all play a game, it's called the game of mimicry. We have to mimic to survive. We're raised on a grid. What do you mimic right now? This is the game you play, the game of pretend. This is just a simulation. World doesn't exist. Only your immediate proximity is simulated through your senses. The world beyond your senses is not real. China doesn't exist. Colors are imagined. The world starts existing when you get there and sense it in your immediate proximity. The more you try to escape the life sand, the deeper you sink. You cannot not play the game. This is the ultimate game, the absolute game. And to embrace the game itself is the only way through. How to embrace the plasticity of the hyper-real simulation by becoming radically embodied in its treachery.